well worked the weather and the heat for all we can work for table topics around here. Tonight, our topic is going to be school, back to school, things that we remember about school, things we wish we didn't remember about school, and things like that. So, go back in time. Some of us, that's further back than others. Some of you, it's fairly recent. You're lucky. And think about your favorite teacher, or if you did not have a favorite teacher, describe your ideal teacher. Jim Monahan.
Thank you very much for that. It's been a while since I've been in school. I think over 50 years since I graduated from high school. My favorite teacher was my chemistry teacher. And she taught math and science. And I liked that because I was into that at that time. And while I was very bright in school, I was also very rotten in school, which everybody knew. You know, part of the game. I would take my chair and scoot around the room, for instance, for fun. One time she had us, for an algebra test, she had us what they did called checkerboard. So they have a person, an empty seat, a person, empty. So what I did was I pulled the chair out from there, pulled it pushed up, so I sat next to the valedictorian and the salutatorian. And she said, "Are you cheating?" I said, "No, because you can know what I'm doing. So it's only cheating if you don't know." She couldn't understand the logic, but it was there. Time flies, time goes by. We just had, a few years back, our 50th reunion in high school. And I'm telling you right now, we were all kind of old. Yeah, not older than last time I saw him 50 years ago. But that same nun was still there. And she was there. She was a lot older than us then. She was really old. And as she was leaving, I remember said, "Sister Genevieve." She said, "Yes." She's in a wheelchair now. She said, "Yes." I said, "I'm Jim Monahan. You remember me?" She said, "Oh, yeah."
Thank you. Now that he told us about his favorite teacher and some of the stunts he pulled on her, think about your least favorite teacher. And I can tell you who that one was for me. And then turn it around and tell us what you did learn from that least favorite teacher. Michael Finelli.
Thank you, Kate Commons, Mistress. Well, I went right here to Greensburg High School, right across the tracks up there, and my 40th anniversary is coming up in October. And my favorite teacher was speech, but my least favorite teacher was, we had vocational industrial cooperative training back then. It was called DIC. His name was Bill Wilson. He was just an old hard sheriff type of guy, and I was probably worse than Jim Monahan as far as practical jokes and not listening to classes, trying to avert any kind of work that I could do or get out of. And I used to just sit in class, and every time he would say something, I would just make a fool out of him, and I would make fun of everything he said. And he got it with me. One day he said, "I won't teach you." He just left, and we went out to the principal's office, and he came back. He says, "Now, if you want to know what happened, you can go down and look at the permanent record." So I got out of class, and I went down there and walked and told him I wanted to see my permanent record. And sure enough, Bill Wilson wrote on there, "Michael Finelli is a very good student, but someday his mouth will get him in trouble."
Now then, get a little more focused and think about particular subjects. Your favorite subject, Jim shared with us. Some of us had a least favorite subject. Trey, I'd like you to tell us what the subject is that you would like to repeat because you missed it the first time. What would you take again if you had the opportunity, because it just went over you the first time?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Mistress. The class that I would probably retake would probably be algebra. I, you know, I come from a long line of people that math wasn't their thing, and they announced to me that, you know, math's not going to be your thing, and if you can get through math and get a C and graduate, great for you. You know, if you can get a B, even better. But don't really focus on math. You know, you really use whatever you use to balance your checkbook and stuff like that as far as living in life. And as long as you know how to add 2 + 2, you're okay. So I didn't pay attention to math. I took like math models in senior year, and then once I had all my credits, I didn't need to take a math course. But I really wish that I took the discipline and took the time to really bear down and study hard and stay after class and really learn the proper use of the algebra. Because I could use it now that I'm in my regular life. But that's the subject that I would retake. I could.
Thank you, Greg. Now then, many of us could think of courses that we thought were so foolish that they were a waste of our time. And if we were the curriculum coordinator, we would just delete the whole course from the curriculum because we saw absolutely no useful purpose to it. Leonard, I know you're in the education business. What would you take out of the curriculum if you could take one course out of a standard curriculum?
Wouldn't take them. I think they need to have more. I'm actually thinking that if you go back to when I was in school, we didn't have so many classes. We only had the basics. But we had tough, little white-haired teachers, little ladies that were tougher than a man. I mean, they were so tough, and they would make you do things. They would make you conjugate verbs, and they would make you learn your tables. And so when you were taking a class, you had to do very well. And it was painful and embarrassing to have revealed what you didn't know. Did anybody ever have that happen to you? But we were really all together as a class. And even though the students would laugh, they really were on your side. We all hated the teacher. We didn't hate each other. So what was going on was them being hard on us made us come together. And them being hard on us, actually, even though we didn't like them, it made us feel like, well, I guess that's what you have to do, is get through people like Miss Pascal, for example. So Miss Pascal was the type that would say, look, you know, what is it when you go through a highway and you're going up a hill and you cross a line and you pass on the wrong side and the truck comes the other way, what's that called? And everybody said, well, that's an accident. She says, no. She says, if you live, that's an accident. You're not supposed to cross the line in the first place. She was tough. Okay, but this is the kind of teachers that we had. I think maybe back then I would have thought, we don't need that. But now, 50 or so years later, I think maybe they need to be tough again. Not a table talk.
Thank you. If you will take your ballot, and I believe the very bottom part of it is